Me. Hello. Look like weird. Hi there guys, it's Dr. Phil here. I'm still doing a lot of Christmas presenty stuff, and I thought whilst I was making this particular thing, may as well go live and do it, just to get the content keeping on going, as they say. It's a bit where I flip you around. There we go. Let's see if we can actually get this to go. I would really love to have this in landscape mode. Let's see if we can actually do that. No, that's not going to do it. Okay. I think it's not going to let me. Yeah. Oh well, may as well leave it like this. Okay, so what am I doing tonight? Well, I'm finishing off Christmas stuff. Oh, far out. Sorry about the hand. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of things and it hasn't been safe. I've got these opals here, however, and I've got some glue. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be mosaicing these together. This stuff is actually shavings from the metalwork that I've been doing, and I like the glitter effect, so I'm just going with it. So hopefully I've got enough here. If I don't have enough here, I've got so many million billion others that I can actually grab from outside, so it should be okay. So the general idea here is just to fill in these black squares with opals. That sounds like a relatively simple job, doesn't it? The end product, should I tell you what the end product is, or do you want to guess? Still alive, yep. Good on you, Phil. Isn't that funny? Oh, this is going well. Yoink. Sorry, I just attached myself to a glue container. I hate it when that happens. Okay. Yoink. And ow, 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 ow. And I'm off. Yay. Okay. There's my glue container. Now, no, don't do that. Naughty glue. Naughty glue. It's stupid o'clock at the moment in Australia, so I presume that the United States is fine. Nice. Yeah, if I do that, yeah, good. Live chat. Well, hopefully that'll work. I can start a poll. What kind of poll can we start? Ask your community. Optional. This is ridiculous. Okay, so let's do. What question? You like surveys? There you go. You can start the poll. Just a feature in this whole thing. So basically what I'm going to do now is start gluing these opals on. Now these ones are mostly flat opals, and it doesn't matter if they're not. I'm going to make them fit somehow. This is only stage one, because what I've got to do after the gluing is epoxying these things. Actually have to use that side. I wanted to use the other side, but Oh well. No, also, I'm hoping this works. So if it doesn't, I don't got no plan B. In case you're interested, I'm approaching this in the same way that a British farmer approaches rocks in their field. They kind of build a wall at the side of their field out of the rocks, and away they go. They just infill. Yeah. Well, I just noticed it was there, and I just pushed buttons just to see if it will work. By the way, hi Don, and Merry Christmas. It's probably not Christmas yet in the States, is it? Oh yeah. Phil just dropped off the radar completely. It was really weird. I don't know why YouTube does this. It goes, you know what? You don't really like talking to him or listening to him or doing anything with him, do you? Nah. See ya. 8:30 a.m. Now, this is a nice little opal, actually. Hang on, let's see if I can make it so that you can even see it. Yeah, it's too small. And basically, because I've got a black background, it's essentially going to double it. And I'm wondering whether I should have actually paid any attention to the colours of the opal. Oh, it'll be all right. A lot of these are failed opals. Well, they're not failed opals. They successfully became opals. I'm the one that failed. Oh, yeah. Very strange. I'm currently on pimple popping, apparently. That's my current obsession. Yeah, I agree with you on that, mate. I would get the birds up, except no. It's just not clever to disturb their sleep patterns. They're cockatoos. They can punish you in so many ways. Yeah, well, I think that mosaicing opals probably isn't outside your skill set, my friend. I'm just putting opals onto a black background, essentially. As with everything else I do, this is a printer. Well, it was a printer at some stage. Do you have any idea what I'm making? Have I told anyone? I mean, it could well be nothing because, you know, it's not going to work. Especially if I put them on the wrong way. Stuck to my hand. Well done. It's going great. I will have to be polishing these up when I'm done with it. But I'll do that in the morning, I reckon. I've got a couple of other things that I need to do for Christmas. A mess. Well, yes. But that's just my hand. See the thumb got stuck to the glue. So I had to reef it off and, you know, and possibly a livable quantity of skin. It's getting ridiculous. I think opals apply the toast principle. If you want to put them on one way, they're going to go on the other. This is kind of like cataloguing all of my failures over the last 2 or 3 years. Into one giant failure. No, I was just dismantling something, and like it was probably a screwdriver. I just, slipped with a screwdriver and smacked it into my knuckle. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm making work for the emergency services, I suppose. What I'll do is I'll actually make I'll pop that on, and then I'll get the template for you. Does this look like anything to you? Actually, Max did bite my finger, by the way, but not hard. So it's not that. So what did I do? I was vacuuming today, and yeah, I've got a communication problem. A weird shoe. No, it's not a weird shoe. It's a scratch plate for a guitar. This all looks a little bit random at the moment, but what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks has been just creating a pattern out of random opals. So these actually do fit together in a mosaic kind of structure. Seeing you know nothing about opals, mate, I'll tell you one thing. If you get a white opal and stick it on a black background, the result is awesome. And yeah, I'm deliberately having the grid pattern there because that gives me an idea of how much room I need to leave or make. There's a jar of fragments as well. So once I've gotten this basic area filled out, the other thing is, for reasons that will become obvious later, I don't actually have to really worry too much about how well I glue these down. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so sold on opals, but I do agree that they are the best gem around. I think it's because they're accessible. I think that's the thing. You can come in with no knowledge, and within a few months you can have some idea on how to cut an opal, and you can start selling them. That's a great thing, not to mention the fact that they are an attractive gem all up. Yeah, so Phil's video on doublets dropped on my feed, but it was like 5 days old, so it didn't look like a new one to me. One thing I would love to do is to do something like this on hyperlapse. That would look very attractive, I reckon. The other thought that occurred to me is that this is, if you didn't have access to a large supply of opals in the rough, this would be a very luxurious item. Because that, well, that's just Potch there, but that's Lightning Ridge, that's Lightning Ridge, that's Andamuka. Lightning Ridge, Lightning Ridge, Lightning Ridge, Lightning Ridge, Lightning Ridge. That's actually a really good opal. I realised when I was putting it all together that I hadn't just put some crap opals out. And then I thought, nah, stuff it. She can have one. She can have a few. Maybe I'll flip that over. Is it any better that side? Yeah. It doesn't have to be 100% flat. What I will be doing is I'll be putting fragments to fill it all out. And the other thing is, the super glue ain't the only bonding agent I will be using. Bond, James Bond. I think it's about time to use that Dr. Evil quote, hey? Activate the unnecessarily slow dipping mechanism. $1 million. Lurgate. No, you said 2 a.m, so that means you're in Australia or Kiwi land. Ah. Yeah, I like the subtle opals though, Don. I think that, like, sometimes this world is just a bit too gaudy. You can stay that way. Because you're pretty enough as it is. Because you're pretty enough. Yeah. Did you mention what? So what? They could have been Cooperpedy, or were they Wellows? And is there a difference in the United States? Because is it cheaper to get Wellows in the United States? For me, it costs like $30 just to transport them. And usually they make it individual, so it's prohibitively expensive to do it. That was a shocker. All right. You go there. You go there. Everybody, just get in line. Stop making trouble. What a beautiful little one. I think it's just a bit cracked. Well, we all know a few Kiwis. Actually, I don't think the Americans might. I think New Zealand to Australia is like Canada is to America, I reckon, Don. Haven't had to buy Wello. Just given to you by Pulitzer. Half your luck. I reckon I'll cut one of the Wellos I've got on a live stream, see how we go. That'll be fun for the whole family. Ooh. Once you get glue on your hands, just start dropping opals like crazy. Dropping them like they're mental blank. I wonder if someone can fill the blanks. Global prospecting. How do they end up? I think you saw my exchange with well, true. But I think the Sydney region where I come from is part of a giant plate system which started in New Zealand and then slammed into Australia later on. So the Blue Mountains, which are just a few kilometres from where I am, or a few miles, depending on what money you're using here. The Blue Mountains are apparently uplift that formed when the landmass detached from New Zealand and slammed into Australia. Yeah, I should get a few parcels from various people. I think you saw me chatting with the Cooper PD kid. So I think, I could be wrong, but I think I have acquired some nice chips for like $35. I don't even know if it's 35 Australian or US. There's 60% difference. So it's nice to cut. That's good. Not all of it is hydrophane, is it? Hydrophane for you, Laddox. Hydrophane means that it absorbs water and it is possibly liable to swell and crack, and some of the colour goes depending on whether it's wet or dry. Can be quite the nuisance. Yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, I think my next thing is getting those opals from Caleb, far out. That's what happens when it's 2 a.m. I think that's about the right height. What I'll do is I'll template over it soon. But I'll just do a best guess as to what the pick guard is supposed to look like, dimensions, etc. And when I've gotten it close enough, I'll start outlining it. Originally, I had a gradation of colour, but I think at this stage, getting it done at all will be pretty remarkable. Right. Yeah. Hydrophane opal actually does happen in Australia, because I was getting some of my stuff priced by an expert, and he mentioned he was up in the top end. Yeah, we do that too. We north side. It was up in the top end, the Northern Territory, near Darwin and all that. And some guy came in with a hydrophane Australian opal. So it does happen. Very rare, but it does happen. America. North America. Very James Bond way of saying it, isn't it? And all of the cars that they... Were they American cars? Oh, I can't remember. It's been a while. I reckon. Well, two things. I'm definitely going to run out of opals, so I'm going to have to go and grab another bag of them, which is fine. I've got plenty. Still got plenty of those sample bags from one of my other videos before I went almost entirely live stream and shorts. Profane. All right. Pro-federal. Here we go. Sometimes you sit there and you go, I've got this great idea. Going to do a thing. And then when it comes to actually doing the thing, you're like, not such a great idea. But no, it's going to work, I reckon. When it comes to actually sticking the opals on, that's not going to make it. This one, nice little. It's been very interesting because, like, a lot of these opals that I stored away were from a lot earlier, and so I was able to cut a few nice little gems from some of these ones just because I knew what to do with them now. Okay. Yoink. Should check your sub count, Don. You've been going great guns recently. And yeah, I'm pretty certain you know now that there are times when you get sick of it. You have to just keep going. Stickability, consistency, all that. There we go. 63. Yeah, I went through a little bit of a lull just in the last two or 3 days, and things have started to pick up again. So I suggest you'll be 65 by mid-Christmas. I'm hoping I'm right. Not out of pride, but just to be nice to have you with 1,000 subs or something. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's ever going to be 100% bad because it's just, I don't think opals let that happen. And what I will be doing is I will be giving it a brief sand on the sandpaper. So it should come up trumps. But It might just be good enough if you cover it with the second layer. It might work out just fine. I'm not entirely upset with this look. That's an interesting way of damning with faint praise, isn't it? I'm not entirely upset with it. I don't really want it to die and burn in hell. Okay. 4 more opals to go, so definitely about 2/3 done, I reckon, on the pit guard. So you need to get a relatively small amount of opals to finish it off, which will be good. I know exactly the spot. May have trouble finding a place for this one to stick because we're getting up to the last couple of opals. Here we go. The final opal. I'll be 5 seconds. I wonder if I can make it more interesting for you whilst I'm gone. I think I've got my fossils here somewhere. Here's a boulder opal I never finished. So gaze upon that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go the full Stephen Owen on you and say, check out these little beauties. It's amazing what you can do with resin, and yep, I think you're figuring out what I'm going to be doing. Might use that one. Use some of these thinner ones. I think I'll make the basic shape and then go to bed because I'm turning into a pumpkin, basically. Do you use that phrase in the States? I'm turning into a pumpkin? Hydraulic press channel. No, the hydraulic press channel watches you, I reckon. It's just there. Because when you think about it, what have I got in common with a hydraulic press? Still watch the coos getting trimmed. But I've upgraded my tastes, apparently. YouTube has decided that because I like watching cows getting trimmed, ingrown toenails. I've got to be careful what I say here. No, it's a Cinderella reference. Because I am just so pretty. I'm not going to be doing this one. Just thought I'd show it. I need to wet it. I'm not going to wet it the usual way. All right, so also this one. This isn't going on either. That's a Bellum Night. And the cool thing about this Bellum Night is, if I'll get rid of that, you can actually see you can see the little tube in the end of it. It's a nice little thing. I just thought I'd show it to you. Because that's what you do. Zoom in on dead people's feet, or a dead orc, or a dead goblin. Well, whatever, whatever floats your boat. There's another phrase for you. In case you're interested, Don, Queensland is about a hop, skip, and a jump, I suppose we'd call it, from Lightning Ridge. Lightning Ridge is technically in New South Wales, but it's right up against the border. So if you think of Australia as kind of an H. Actually, we'll use this guitar as a diagram. So there's Australia. Do you reckon it looks better upside down as Australia? Almost does. Look at that. That's almost Australia. So that's Queensland, according to this extremely rough diagram of Australia. That's the Great Australian Bight. That's Western Australia. Don't ever go there. No, Western Australia is fine. Hey, Pony. Can you hear that flapping noise? That's Pony stretching her wings. I might let her get out of the cage. She hasn't been out recently. She does that when she's trying to stretch. I really need to get this done, though. I think I'll just get this done. That's a nice one. Annoyment. There we go. Ugh. How embarrassment. Depending on age, you may or may not know that one. It's a definite Australian quote. You'd have to know who Effie Reid was. Nine votes. Huh. End poll. Let's see what it says. There you go. 88% of you love the survey. Stuck. Who thought that working with superglue would be a great idea? I hear it was originally designed as a medical suture. So you cut yourself, stick on some superglue, and away you go. No more bullets left. Right, time to get another blue out. Was it? I knew that it was used for something, and eventually, apparently, because occasionally it get too hot, they stopped using it. North Korea. I'm not doing that one. This one, however. Definitely need a few fragments for this. Too big.
Too old, yes, too old to begin the training. Reckless is he. Now matters are worse.
Notice whenever I do Yoda, I rip off an American accent, probably Frank Oz's. You know, I'd be willing to endure a few burns just to get the super glue working on my injuries. I've done a lot of things over the years. You know, I've burnt my face, but I've also fallen off a bike. On a scale of 0 to not very fun, not very fun. This is quite cathartic because you don't use up a lot of mental energy, but you're just sitting there looking for the right piece for the puzzle. Originally, when I was doing puzzles, I thought they were unsolvable, but you know, not all of them, but like some were. I don't think any are. I think they're all solvable. Okay, so let's have a look. How are we going? So we need to go up a bit. Can't use that one. That's better. Double it, won't use that. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. I'd like to be able to use that, but I don't think I can. Can't have that one. This one's a double it. Didn't need to be ever. It needs to be higher, I think. Ooh. I wonder how old I'll be when I stop getting the musical soundtrack. I'll put another layer on there. Put another layer on the guitar. Here we go. Perfect. Nope. Actually, it looks like a map of America, doesn't it? Hang on. There's Florida. Got that right. Excellent. So, okay. Ooh. What I need to do now is just do the... I've just got to do Michigan. Well, that solves that mystery. The Great Lakes must be filled with superglue. So that's about there. And then that's there. See how that goes. Got it. I'm just mapping out the edges. Wow. It's a nice one. You certainly don't want the wrong end of that one to be facing the wrong way. I'm glad I checked that because a lot of those apples are already over the sound hole, so that will be a problem. I may have to get some more. Filling in the details is a little bit tougher sometimes. All right, so that needs to go across a little further. There. Right. Like so. Yep. That one goes there, which is fine. It's upside down, Miss Jane. You're pulling my leg. It's called amusing yourself. Okay. Oh, yeah. The map of Tassie. Something. If you saw yeah, it could be. But my daughter drew that picture. And so I am modeling based off the picture she drew. The other thing about that one is that it's a Taylor guitar, would you believe? I won't go into all the details, but my daughter was recently estranged from her own mother, which was a bit outrageous from my perspective. But done now. But prior to that, she bought her a guitar, a nice little Taylor guitar. I've got a maintenance. I had a Taylor, it got stolen. That was a long time ago, so I'm over it. But don't steal guitars, basically. Well, a guitar is just an arpeggio machine, Don. So don't think you are bad at it. Once you figure out one of the arpeggios to play on it, then figure out another one. That's what the chords are. And then Bob's your uncle. You can play guitar. It's one of those ones where you can spend forever being good or bad at it. Very egalitarian instrument. Yeah, quite frankly, even though you're talking about other things, it really was starting to look like a map of North America. Still is a bit. Got rid of Florida. That's what most Americans want to do, isn't it? I just achieved what most Americans can't. I can remember dutifully planning that Dr. Phil theme. And I regretted not continuing to do it, but like making videos is hard enough without, that's all, folks. Had a big day today, a lot of running around. I wanted to get this done a lot earlier than now, but sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes life conspires. I have a theory. Just going to close the chat down. No, everything's okay. Probably anyway. Okay, let's see. I was an audio, grabbed some of the worst rubs that I had, just straight off the rub pile. What I'm doing at the moment is just spacing everything out. What I'm currently doing is looking for all of the large and relatively worthless opals. I mean, you probably still get $10 US for the worst of these, but I'm thinking the guitar will be quite valuable after this is done to it. Hello there, Jay. How you doing? Oh, yeah, that puts it at 2-1-2. Not that it's a competition. Just as an FYI, I was getting things done and I realized that I was on American time as things got later. I'm going, I may as well. But I've got to keep things quiet because there's people sleeping in the house. That's the only problem. That didn't cause any trauma. Perfect. My fingers will now be stuck together for a month. That's a good idea. Well, from Texas, eh? That's good because Texan accent I can do. Ain't nothing bigger than Texas. Give me a rating out of 10. Every time I try and do an American accent, I end up becoming a Texan. Either that or from New Orleans. Apparently, I have blues roots. Oh, 8 out of 10. Oh, I'm glad of that. Well, I am Dr. Phil after all. Don't beat yourself up. My job. What else have we got? The dilemma I've got is that there's a few doublets here and a few good solids that I'm not going to be using in the mosaic. So that one can be used, but do I want to? Use this one. This is technically supposed to be a pick guard for a Taylor guitar, but at the moment I've decided it actually does look like America. So here's the Rocky Mountains over here, isn't it? Am I on the right side? Yeah, I think I am. There's Nebraska. I've been to Nebraska. Yeah, I know. Why would you want to go to Nebraska? I did it for work. Keeping that one. Well, this one I'd always earmark for this project, which is good. In you go. Good on you. Okay. I'll be actually carving the sound hole out of this section, so I don't need to fill it up that much. Okay, I've done that. It comes out. I need to have a little, yeah, I've got that. Is it actually somewhere near the correct shape? Huh. Wonders never cease. Okay, it is April. Where is it? Whoops. Drops it. Okay, let me see. Don't want to use any of those opals. Actually, I'll show you this little innovation that I thought. Don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'll zoom in. There you go. So when I was cutting, oh, look at my fingers, they're terrible. When I was cutting the opal, I actually cut this notch into it. And the whole idea is that if I set it in a ring, I'll actually drill a small hole to further set the opal. We'll see how that works out. Let's grab some more opals. We're nearly done. Never fear, I have returned. Okay. This should be the final part. So on that whole Nebraska thing, I actually went through Dallas Airport to get there. And despite what people might want to say about it, and yeah, I do have some interesting stories about Nebraska. Lovely place. Quite enjoyed it. Only trouble is, apparently I'm a Cornhusker now. They told me something along the lines of, you can't be anything else. You first came to Nebraska, that's it, you're a Cornhusker. And that's their college football team, in case you didn't know. Oop. No. Don't think this one owes us anything. Pop this in here, there. Here, there, every. There we go. And I'll just throw a. Can I do the same trick? Yeah. These are just pot opals that I'm snapping, so don't get too upset over it. Even though it's interesting, just randomly snapping opals because I want to. So what have we got? I think that's... Let's make sure we've got our... Right. All right. Could I persuade you with a hammer? There we go. Right. And that stuck to me. Perfect. There we go. All right, so that's that done, I think. All right, just one more thing. It's actually perfect. Just in case you're wondering, I don't need it to be really well attached. It just needs to be partially attached because I'll be using some version of epoxy, either arrow dot or the two-part that's in the garage. All right. There's the pick guard. I'm actually going to go to bed. I'll let this all dry and settle down, and then I'll get back onto it in the morning. Yeah, pretty much. It's actually for a tailor, so it's tailor-made. I made it quite swiftly. Yeah. Yes, and Merry Christmas to you. I think it's going to be a good one this year. It's going to be quite cold, and it's not usually cold in Australia during Christmas time. It's going to be raining. Forecast. Show you one thing before I go. Just happen to have it lying around. There it is. There's the gold. That's not the gold. So what I'll do is I'll give it a quick weigh, I reckon. Tell you how much it is. Just moving the scratch plate away. And basically, I got this from Computer Parts, and I forgot to weigh it, so I'm going to weigh it in front of everybody. We'll see how much we got. And I don't know if it's American or not, but it's $94 a gram. This stuff, presuming that it's pure enough, of course. Let's have a look. $11, $14, $15. Oh, there you go. Basically $1,500. That's not bad. Hopefully it's pure enough to warrant that. Okay, well, everyone have a lovely evening or morning. Have a lovely something. Have a Merry Christmas. Dr. Phil out.